Hey guys, hope you had a great weekend. So today's video we gonna be looking at this amazing short story called The Girl Who Could Not Speak by the author A.K. So I've got a question for you guys before we begin, and I want to see your answers in the comments section below. Which one would you pick? A, $100, or B, an opportunity to showcase your talent and potentially change your life? Alright, if you've made your decision, let us know down in the comments. But now let's jump right into the story. It was early morning in the city of Maple Creek, and sunlight streamed through the window panes of room 26, illuminating dust particles dancing in its golden beams. The students were settled in their desks, their hushed whispers creating a peaceful murmur. Mrs. Carter, a young, dynamic English teacher, entered the room, her face beaming with excitement. "Good morning, class," she greeted warmly. The students responded with a chorus of "Good morning, Mrs. Carter." Mrs. Carter was someone everyone liked. She understood how intimidating literature could seem, how daunting analyzing classics written a century ago might feel to teenagers with their minds set on the future. She made learning fun. "Now," she began, tapping a stack of papers on her desk. "Class, we have some exciting news. Our school is hosting a writing competition." As soon as the words "writing competition" left her lips, the room erupted in a cacophony of sounds. Desks were banged, papers rustled, and exclamations filled the air. Mrs. Carter waited patiently, a smile playing on her lips. When the commotion died down, she continued, "The topic is a day in my life. The winner will receive a cash prize of $100. Now, $100 wasn't life-changing money, but for a bunch of high schoolers, it was enough to make someone very happy. As the students started discussing the competition in low tones, Mrs. Carter noticed a girl in the last row named Jasmine sketching in a notepad. Jasmine was an enigma in the class. While other students excitedly discussed the competition, she remained impassive, her attention solely concentrated on her notebook. Jasmine wasn't unpopular. In fact, she had many friends, but she rarely participated in class unless directly addressed. To Mrs. Carter, Jasmine seemed lost in another world, her gaze often distant, as if she were miles away. Yet when she spoke, her words resonated with a wisdom that belied her years. "Jasmine," Mrs. Carter called out, her voice soft yet commanding, "what are your thoughts on the competition?" Startled, Jasmine looked up from her notebook, her dark eyes wide with surprise. "Me? Oh, she stammered, blushing slightly. "I don't know, ma'am. It doesn't interest me." Mrs. Carter observed Jasmine closely, noticing the slight tremor in her hands, a telltale sign of nervousness. Despite Jasmine's dismissive words, Mrs. Carter saw a flicker of interest in her eyes. Sensing her unease, Mrs. Carter decided to change the subject, but not before marking Jasmine's unexplainable response to the competition. Little did she know that behind Jasmine's apathetic facade lay a story waiting to be told. The following weeks were a flurry of activity. The once crisp and neatly arranged classroom was now a whirlwind of scattered papers, crumpled drafts, and animated discussions. Students eagerly shared their ideas, bouncing off one another in excited bursts of creativity. Mrs. Carter watched her students with fondness, appreciating their passion and enthusiasm. Meanwhile, Jasmine remained aloof, her sketchbook lying forgotten on her desk. Days turned into weeks, and the competition deadline loomed closer, adding pressure to the mix. The once lighthearted excitement had now taken on an edge. Students were frantic, desperate to finalize their pieces in time. However, amidst the chaos, Mrs. Carter noticed Jasmine sitting calmly by the window, a serene smile gracing her lips. Curiosity piqued, Mrs. Carter approached her. "Jasmine," she asked softly, "aren't you working on your entry for the competition?" Jasmine turned, her smile widening. "Competition? Oh," she said, her tone nonchalant. "No, Mrs. Carter, I'm not participating." Mrs. Carter felt a pang of sympathy. She knew Jasmine's family wasn't well off, and $100 could mean a lot to them. Thinking perhaps Jasmine needed encouragement, Mrs. Carter gently suggested, "But Jasmine, you're a talented writer. Shouldn't waste this opportunity." Jasmine's eyes, usually filled with life, seemed distant. She looked at Mrs. Carter and said quietly, "I'm sorry, Mrs. Carter, but I don't want to participate." There was an unfathomable sadness in her voice that tugged at Mrs. Carter's heartstrings. Respecting Jasmine's wishes, Mrs. Carter dropped the matter. But she couldn't help but wonder about the melancholy in Jasmine's tone. What was it that made her so averse to the competition? Was it her family's financial situation or something more profound? Determined to find out, Mrs. Carter decided to pay Jasmine a visit at home. On a Saturday afternoon, Mrs. Carter found herself standing outside Jasmine's house. It was a small, weather-beaten building that looked like it had seen better days. Hesitantly, she knocked on the door. It was opened by a woman whose face was etched with the hardships of life. "Mrs. Carter," Jasmine's mother greeted her cautiously, suspicion evident in her eyes. Mrs. Carter introduced herself and explained her visit. To her credit, Jasmine's mother stepped aside, allowing her in. Inside, the house was dim and sparsely furnished, but what struck Mrs. Carter the most was the palpable tension in the air. "Where's Jasmine?" Mrs. Carter asked tentatively. "She's upstairs," came a muffled reply. As Mrs. Carter ascended the creaky stairs, she heard soft sobs. Peeking through the slightly ajar door, she saw Jasmine curled up on her bed, her shoulders shaking with silent grief. Unable to bear the sight, Mrs. Carter knocked on the door. "Come in," whispered Jasmine, her voice hoarse with suppressed emotion. Mrs. Carter entered. Her heart heavy with understanding, she sat beside Jasmine, offering her a comforting smile. "Tell me what's wrong, Jasmine," she coaxed softly. Jasmine hesitated, her eyes brimming with tears. "Why do I always have to be strong?" she cried out, the dam of composure finally breaking. "I'm tired of pretending I'm okay when I'm not. Everyone expects me to have it all together, but no one cares about my feelings. They just tell me to be strong without asking why." Mrs. Carter listened patiently, her heart aching for the young girl who seemed to carry burdens far too heavy for her small shoulders. Once Jasmine calmed down, Mrs. Carter spoke, her voice filled with empathy. "Jasmine, it's all right to not be okay. Sometimes we all need help carrying our burdens." Relievingly, Jasmine opened up, pouring out her heart to the one person she felt comfortable enough to trust. She told Mrs. Carter about her strained relationship with her mother, her academic struggles, and the loneliness that had become her constant companion. As Jasmine spoke, Mrs. Carter felt a deep sense of responsibility to not only help Jasmine with her writing, but to also be a source of comfort and guidance in her life. In the days that followed, Mrs. Carter kept in regular contact with Jasmine, providing emotional support and constructive feedback on her writing. As the competition day drew near, Jasmine blossomed under Mrs. Carter's mentorship, her confidence growing with each passing day. Finally, the day of the competition arrived. Mrs. Carter watched proudly as Jasmine took to the stage. Her steps firm, her chin held high. Jasmine delivered her piece with a captivating blend of emotion and grace, leaving the audience in awe. The judges were deeply moved by Jasmine's story, recognizing the depth of emotion and maturity in her writing. And much to everyone's surprise, she won. Mrs. Carter beamed, her heart swelling with pride. As Jasmine returned to her seat, the two shared a meaningful glance, a silent acknowledgement of the journey they had shared. Jasmine's victory not only earned her the monetary prize, but also a scholarship to attend a summer writing camp. Mrs. Carter knew that this was just the beginning for Jasmine. The writing competition had been a catalyst, propelling her into a world where her voice could be heard and her talent nurtured. Final message. Behind every successful individual lies a story of hard work, dedication, and sometimes the guiding hand of a mentor. Jasmine's journey is a testament to the transformative power of belief and support. Just like Jasmine, we all have stories within us waiting to be told. Sometimes all we need is someone to believe in us. So the next time you see a young mind struggling, take a moment to offer a helping hand, because you might just be guiding the next literary sensation. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed today's short story. We're almost at the end of the year, so if you've been enjoying these videos, please make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, let me know your favorite character in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in another video soon. Bye.